Gen Z, they're often asking for it, and when it comes to social media, it can really, it's easy that people will destroy your brand on social media. One example I just have here on my slides, because I think that is something I like a lot, is when it comes to CO2, is insetting. Instead of like offsetting, it's regenerative agriculture. I don't know if any one of you has ever heard of it, I guess, because it's just not just doing something completely new. It's just like doing something that we're already doing in a more sustainable way. And a lot of companies, especially food companies, now use regenerative agriculture to save CO2 emissions and work together with a lot of farmers in Germany or all through Europe, and just kind of define farming in a new way so that it's more sustainable. And I think examples like this, they're just great for storytelling, also for companies, and they're something people can also understand, and that they also make sense to people. So if you want to give back as a company, really make sure it suits your brand and it's something people can understand. So this is something that I really want to address here, that you should make sure to be authentic in your communication. Nobody is perfect, and I think that is also something people don't mind to know, but if you want to claim yourself as one of the most sustainable brands, or if you want to be known for just a luxurious brand, you really also should try to be more transparent, because I think in today's world, that's especially what the Generation Z and what they want to see from also big brands, because they also have some kind of a role model perspective there. And one last point that is also really important to me is that it's important to invest in your team. So we were talking a lot about the way companies are seen from the outside, but to really create a successful team is also a huge benefit, especially the young generation. They did all of their university studies sitting at home. They often feel lonely. They're insecure because they haven't been in the whole work environment for such a long time. I am also part of an NGO that mentors teenagers when they want to found a company, but also in your company, it's important to have mentors for the younger generation so they can learn from you, but also the older generation can learn from the younger ones. And I think this reverse mentoring is really, really beneficial, so that the team you're building, that they also want to stay at your company, that they want to really create new products with you, that they also want to continue learning. And I think not only investing in sustainability or in great communication, but also in your team, and especially the younger ones, can be a huge benefit for long-lasting success too. And that's basically it. So I wouldn't say that they're always misunderstood, but maybe they have a different kind of mindset and values now. I also still think a lot about the climate crisis, for instance, and of course younger generations want to change something. And also the pandemic, I still think had a huge influence on the younger people. And when it comes to work, they kind of have to still learn a little bit more, and therefore they feel a little bit misunderstood because they haven't been sitting in offices for 8 hours a day, and they kind of need to learn a little bit more about this world too, and they need older people to are understanding and are also willing to help them. A lot about too, because on the one side it's something that's really sensible and kind of a private topic, but if you don't feel mentally well, of course you should talk with your boss about it. And I think if you have an understanding boss, the person will understand how you're feeling and also will give you a little bit more freedom. And I think it's just in general important to set a company structure where it's more about listening to each other and where you don't get a lot of let's say mental pain from your job, because I also see it from my followers when they message me. There's so many that have toxic bosses, toxic work relationships, and I think we need to really shift that a little bit so that it's more of a softer communication style, where also the leaders are the ones that ask you questions, how they can help you and how they can improve your work atmosphere, instead of just yelling at you, because I think that's something that really works quite well. And I wish there would be more tools nowadays for mental support, but I think it's still super tricky and difficult. But I think it's important to talk about mental health also in a work environment too. Yes.
Please give it up for Diana Löwen.